Alright, welcome back. We're doing some Common Core geometry. Right now we're looking at Module 4, Lesson 13, Exercise 1, which is over on page 159. We're given a triangle ABC. Find the coordinates of the points of concurrency. So let's just go ahead and get a triangle out. So I'm going to grab the point tool. I'm just going to draw a triangle out here, A, B, C. Let's go ahead and click on the segment tool. If it wasn't selected, I can just go ahead and click on it. Go from A to B, B to C, and C back to A. That's how I have those. And to find this point of concurrency, I need to find the midpoints of the sides and then connect to the opposite vertex. So let's find midpoints. Midpoint is here. So I'm just going to click on each one of the segments. It'll create midpoints for me. And then I think I'm going to switch over to the ray tool. So that way I can go from the vertex over through the midpoint. And I can go from the vertex over through the midpoint. And this vertex through that midpoint. And then I just got to find where those intersect. Let's go back to this point tool. Here's intersect. I'm just going to pick any two. This one and this one are good. And there we went ahead and found that point. In this case, it gives me those coordinates. Pretty neat about using the software is these points don't have to be here. I can move them around, and I can see where that centroid is going to be. The next part asks us to find some relationships. For example, I think we know that this distance from A to that centroid, or not this point D, I guess the midpoint here, should be 1/3 of this whole length. And that should be the case for all of these. And we can do a little calculation to prove that. So maybe we'll just measure some distances first and then see if that's always the case. So let's go to this measure tool. We'll do distance, and we're going to measure. I'll just start out with this one, here to here. Goes ahead and gives me that distance, and we'll measure the entire distance. We'll do the same thing. It's a little tough to see this one because that's blocking it, so I'll just do this one. I'll measure from here to here, and we'll measure the whole thing. Alright, now we should be able to do some calculations. So down in the input bar, should be easy enough to, why don't we take DG and see what the ratio of DG is to the whole DC. So DG being the centroid. DC. Okay, and let's do the same thing with FG and FB. It's pretty easy. I just type it in. I use the slash key. And I could do the third one as well. I guess to do that, let's just get the select tool. And we don't really need all these units out here, so I'm just going to delete them. So I'm really just clicking on those and hitting delete. No, it doesn't clutter up our picture. We could certainly use the hides and such, and I could turn on the last one. Yeah. I guess it was this is the one I'm missing, I think. A. All right, so yeah, let's just measure those distances. So I'm just going to measure this distance and measure the whole distance. And then we can go ahead and do that calculation as well. EG, EJ2, yay. Okay, and I have all those. And let's see if those ratios stay the same. So no matter where I move things, and again, I actually don't like these in there either, so let's just delete those out of there. We don't need those cluttering up our picture. So no matter where we move these to, whatever these lengths over here change to, we can kind of see the ratio always stays the same, and we can kind of see that this centroid, wherever it might move along to. All right, and I think that finishes up 13 exercise 1. We'll be back for something else in a little bit.